In the last class, we were discussing the intensity distribution of n slit. We already discussed the principal maxima. Principal maxima occurs d sin theta equal to n lambda, and minima occurs at n d sin theta equal to plus or minus m lambda, m equal to 1 to 3 up to n minus 1. Now the remaining one is secondary maxima. Secondary maxima, to know the secondary maxima, first of all, intensity distribution I equal to a sin alpha by alpha whole square sin square n beta by sin square beta. But at maxima, differentiation of this is 0. Why? Because if suppose it is a curve, the maxima occurs here. So at this maximum, slope of the curve is tan dy by dx, tan theta equal to 0. So di maximum by d beta equal to 0. So by differentiating this, a sin alpha by alpha whole square, as it is sin n beta by sin beta whole square, it will become 2 sin n beta by sin beta, n cos, it is in the model of u by v method. So n cos n beta sin beta minus sin n beta cos beta by sin square beta, this is equal to 0. So by simplifying this, sin beta n cos n beta minus, we get like this, minus sin n beta cos beta equal to 0. Then n sin beta by cos beta equal to sin n beta by cos n beta, that equal to tan n beta. So finally we got tan n beta equal to n tan beta. But to know the intensity at the secondary maxima, we have to know this sin n beta, sin square n beta by sin square beta. So we have to know sin n beta. We already know that tan n beta, tan n beta equal to n tan beta. So let us draw the right angle triangle. Tan n beta equal to n tan beta. Opposite side is n tan beta. Adjacent side is 1. So hypotenuse, square of these two, sum of square of these two sides, n square tan square beta plus 1 root of. So tan n beta equal to n tan beta by 1. Then I maximum sin n beta here equal to opposite side by hypotenuse n tan beta by root of 1 plus n square tan beta. Then I maximum equal to a square sin square alpha by alpha square sin square n beta by sin square beta, that equal to a square sin square alpha by alpha square sin n beta, n tan beta by root of 1 plus n square tan square beta. So I am substituting n square tan square beta by 1 plus n square tan square beta into sin square beta. So by simplifying this, we will get finally a square sin square alpha by alpha square n square by 1 plus n square minus 1 sin square beta. These sin square beta will get cancelled. I am writing in the place of cos square beta 1 minus sin square beta. Finally we will get 1 plus n square minus 1 sin square beta.
Okay.
So to know the final intensity is nothing but a square sin square alpha by alpha square sin square n square beta by sin square beta. So first let us draw the graph for a square sin square alpha by alpha square versus alpha, where alpha equal to pi a sin theta by lambda. A is the slit width, theta is the diffraction angle, lambda is the wavelength of light used. Then graph for sin square n beta, curve for sin square n beta by sin square beta versus beta. Then it will become like this. These are principal maxima. Principal maxima are of same intensity in the this curve, sin square n beta by sin square beta, and these are minima. Okay. Then these small peaks are secondary maxima. Here beta equal to pi by lambda into a plus b sin theta. This curve is due to single slit. This curve is due to interference. And to get the final intensity, we have to multiply these two. As alpha and beta are the terms having theta, so let us draw the final intensity versus theta versus final intensity. Then we will get the final curve like this. As we are multiplying these two, suppose let us take an example. All the amplitudes of principal maxima are 5. Suppose the peak of this diffraction curve is, suppose it is 10, then 10 into 5, 50. Suppose here 3, then 3 into 5, 15. That's why these first order principal maxima have less intensity when compared to central principal maxima. This is central principal maxima. It is having more intensity than first order. Here right side plus 1, left side minus 1. So these two are first order principal maxima. So same as if we extend this curve, we will get secondary maxima, second principal maxima, third principal maxima, like this. These are secondary maxima. These are minimums. Let us see how grating can make a spectrum. How spectrum forms with grating. We know that direction of principal maximum is a plus b sin theta equal to plus or minus n lambda. Here a plus b is the grating element. A is the slit width, b is the separation between the slits, theta is the diffraction angle, n is the order number, and lambda is the wavelength of light used. Plus or minus indicates right side, minus indicates left side. So suppose if theta equal to 0, then for all lambda we will get 0. For theta equal to 0, for any lambda it will be 0. So we will get central principal maximum at theta equal to 0 for all lambda. But here sin theta and lambda are both in the numerator side. So if lambda increases, theta increases. Suppose if white light incident on this grating, then as in the white light there are 7 colors, WebGR, violet to red. Then for as theta is proportional to lambda, for violet 4000 angstroms, for red 7000 angstroms. So for violet, diffraction angle theta will be less for principal maximum, and for red theta will be more, larger value. See, this is the diffraction angle for violet, this is the diffraction angle for red. So we will get violet spectral line nearer to the central principal maximum, whereas red line will be farther from the central principal maximum. This is the first order. Similarly, for n equal to 2, we will get the second order. So if n equal to 2, for more theta, as right side is increasing, left side also has to increase. So theta will increase. So for second order, we will get more larger theta. So this is the diffraction angle for second order violet. This is the diffraction angle for second order red light. Similarly, in the downside, this is the left side in the distribution curve. So for minus, we will get the downside lines, spectral lines. This is the spectrum for grating. To know the spectrum in detail, for theta equal to 0, for all lambda, central principal maximum occurs at theta equal to 0. So 7 colors will incident at theta equal to 0. So again, central principal maximum is in white color. So this is for theta equal to 0. For first order principal maxima, for violet, theta is less. Next, blue, indigo I am not showing here. Blue, theta theta will be more. Green, again it increases in the right side. So yellow, orange, red. So we will get central first order principal maxima for all these colors like this.
Ready.
Now let us see the conditions for absent spectra with a diffraction grating. We know that the direction of principal maximum is a plus b sin theta n lambda. For minima, a sin theta equal to m lambda. This is for single slit. So here m equal to 1 to 3 and so on, n equal to 1 to 3 and so on. If both occur simultaneously, that means the minima for single slit diffraction pattern, the first one, and the maxima for interference curve, and that is second one. Then if you multiply two intensities, if one is 0, then the resultant one will be 0. Here, as the first one is 0, even though the second one is maximum, we will get the resultant intensity is 0. That means that this order will be missing in the final distribution curve. So if principal maxima of the interference curve and the minima for the diffraction curve will occur simultaneously, then these two for same theta, then suppose here sin theta is same for in the two equations. If you divide these two equations, a plus b by a, sin theta and sin theta will get cancelled, then lambda and lambda will get cancelled. So a plus b by a equal to n by m. So n equal to a plus b by a into m. So let us see the special cases. That if b equal to a, that means the slit width and the separation between the slits is equal, then n equal to a plus a, 2a by a, 2m. So n equal to 2, 4, 6. So second order and fourth order and sixth order and all even orders will be missing in the final distribution curve. If b equal to 2a, then n equal to a plus 2a, n equal to 3m. So n equal to 3, 6, 9 order spectra will be absent in the final curve.
Ready.
To know the maximum number of orders in the distribution curve, first the direction for principal maxima is a plus b sin theta equal to n lambda. If here n is the order, n maximum, I want to know the value of n maximum. If right side is maximum, left side should be maximum, but a plus b is constant here. As for grating, a fixed grating, a plus b is constant, so theta is variable here. So for n maximum, theta should be maximum. What will be the theta maximum value? This theta, see the picture here, theta is the diffraction angle. If you increase the theta, then you can increase up to this, that means theta m equal to 90 degrees. If you increase theta, then it is reflect back, that means without diffraction, the light will reflect back. So the maximum angle for diffraction is here 90 degrees. So sin 90 equal to 1. So n maximum equal to a plus b by lambda. Suppose if a plus b is less than 2 lambda, then n maximum value will be in between 1 and 2. So this n value will be in between 1 and 2. So n maximum is 1. Suppose if a plus b equal to 2 lambda, then 2 lambda by lambda. So n maximum equal to 2. So we can observe two orders here like this. We can observe two orders in the spectrum. We have the experiment to know the value of lambda using diffraction grating for a laser light. Suppose for that light, it is the central principal maximum. So we will get a bright red light. We are using red light. So bright red light in the lab, in the experiment. Then these are the first order, second order, third order. Left side, first order, second order, third order. So we can view the number of orders depending upon a plus b, that means grating element.